Hello and welcome everyone. This is a new episode of Short One, and we got something to talk about. It's Mastersclash once again. In esports, the time is actually running very quickly. If you think about Mastersclash just finishing their qualifiers, then you're right. Last weekend we had the very final qualifier with the last few teams making it through. And this very weekend, in fact Saturday, Sunday, we get to see the first week of games actually. It's the Mastersclash announced the schedule for the first weekend of their league. And that gives us the opportunity to talk a little bit about what's coming up, what is going on with Mastersclash, what is it about, who qualified, and all these kind of things. So let's hop into the data a little bit, have a look. I'm using Wikipedia because it's a little bit better as an overview, especially for the schedule that we get. So Mastersclash, if you wonder what's going on, in fact Mastersclash was the first event after HEC died to make an offline event. But we get to that in a second. So basically the online format is gonna be a double round robin group stage format with a best of 2. If you win, you get 3 points. If you tie 1-1, both teams get a point. If you lose, obviously you get nothing. It says the top 3 are qualified for the finals. So it's 8 teams overall, right? The top 3 are in the playoffs right away. And then, very much like in the CCL, 4th to 8 are gonna play in the gauntlet system. As already mentioned, it's going to be an offline event at the end in Paris. I'm very sure it's gonna be the same venue as the 2 times before. The casters, at least the ones that have been locked in so far, for the English viewer base, gonna be Kaldor. Of course, the players will do POV streams. Maybe I do some Kagbini casts, we will see about that, but of course the prize pool of 12k, and it's on the European server for the people who wonder. And we actually don't have any NA player that made it in. I did talk to Cure though, and Cure said if some of the teams need a stand-in, he would be up for the challenge. So maybe that's something to look out for. Let's hop into the first week. It was just scheduled, I think, 1 or 2 days ago. So let's get into the teams after this, and then I will fill them a little bit with life and the players. So week 1, keep in mind it's best of 2, so it's actually a lot of HOTS though. But yeah, you have a lot of things to watch if you like to. So Chili Mountain inting for Ruby to kick off the league. Important here, it starts at 6 PM European time. It's the best of 2, so my estimate would be takes maybe an hour and a little bit per set. And then Bang Bush versus Mastersclash Academy, Rage Quit Gaming versus Three-Legged Cat. And then the final match of the evening on Saturday would be Hardos versus Granite Gaming. That is my personal highlight, of course. And conveniently enough, in my opinion, both highlights have been scheduled at the end of the day. On Sunday, Bang Bush versus Rage Quit Gaming, I think should be a banger of a match. But yeah, let's look at the teams and the players behind it, because that tells you a bit more about the story. Maybe you missed some of the qualifiers. By the way, if you did, check out the rest of my channel. I covered most of it, so you will find a lot of the matches that you're looking for. 2 things when you look at the teams that come to mind. Number 1, Chili Mountain is listed here with Team Wa. Actually, there's a reference. It says Wa was signed by Chili Mountain, so they will play under the brand of Chili Mountain in Mastersclash, which, if you think about, will probably also be a hint for CCL, who's gonna play under the Chili Mountain brand. And the second big thing here is Granite Gaming. Granite Gaming with the likes of Breeze, Wooby, Smexy, and Quacknix. They made it through. It was rough though. It was rough for them. They needed the whole length of the qualifiers. On the very final match that evening, they've beaten 5 shots of Copium, made it through. And actually Quacknix was playing on that very evening, so if you haven't seen it, go check it out. He was popping off most of the time, But yeah, they made it in. I mean, it's cool to see them again, right? We will see how exactly it goes. Hopefully they stick with us. Hopefully they stick with HOTS for a while. Certainly very cool to see them. The other teams, mostly known, I'd say, to the scene. Bangbush is kind of... It's a version of the Donuts and whatever Swedish roster, you know, there's always a few Swedish rosters around. Most importantly, Lauba main tank, and actually Bishops as a newcomer added to the roster. We will see. Looks very promising. And yeah, these are the 8 teams, guys. I would like to know from you guys, who do you think is the top 4? And maybe even more important, who do you think is the dark horse? Who can poke into the top 4, maybe even qualify for the playoffs, and then, you know, annoy the big teams a little bit? And do you think we have a very clear league in terms of like this is the top 4, then there's a gap, and then you get the other teams, or do you think we have a very competitive league with like all 8 teams in the mix for the playoffs? Yeah. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.